13 years ago, a terrorist put a bullet in her head, but this Minnesota woman did not just survive the attack. She turned her tale of tragedy into a story of inspiration. Jackie Pflug was one of 3 Americans on Egypt Air Flight 648 when it left Athens for Cairo Thanksgiving weekend 1985.
10 minutes into the flight, terrorists hijacked the plane. Jackie was shot point blank in the head and thrown to the runway. More than a dozen years later, she is still healing. But she's now discovered the gift behind the tragedy. Carol 11's Carrie Miller has the story.
10:16 p.m.
For a few moments, as Flight 648 plunged out of the sky,
its cabin depressurized by a shootout between hijackers and a security officer.
Her terrified passengers had hope. Landing might bring rescue. Then the assassinations began.
Another passenger has just been executed now.
Seated near the front of the bullet-punctured cabin,
we heard a gun go off.
Jackie Pflug whispered to the man next to her,
"What has happened?" And he said, "One of the hijackers shot a woman."
And dying alone on a foreign runway now seemed shatteringly real.
And I started to say goodbye to my family and my friends. I told them what I appreciated in each and every one of them and how much I loved them.
And then she prayed and waited until they came. They led Jackie, as they had the others, to the open door of the plane.
And I looked out at my world one more time, and it was an unbelievable, beautiful blue sky with puffy white clouds. So I just stood, and I felt the gun to my head. It was a .38, and he pulls the trigger. And it happened all so fast, and then I felt like a heavy feeling in my head, and my eyes, I felt like my eyes just rolled to the back of my head, and I felt like my brain had just exploded.
Jackie tumbled down the stairs and landed hard on the runway, still alive.
And then I just lay there, and was still as I could be, to think, what's my next plan? What do I do now? And I was worried about me. You know, what do I look like? You know, am I going to be paralyzed? And I'm still alive? And so I started to worry.
Later, Jackie would write of playing dead and slipping in and out of consciousness for 5 hours. She woke once to feel rain filling her wound. And then a truck and footsteps, and she was dragged to a van.
I'm face down, and he is over here, and he takes my body, and he just flips my whole body over because he doesn't like to see the bullet at my head. So he flips me over to now where I'm on my back. And I gasp for air, and he starts to scream and yell. And so that's when I take a chance, and I open my eyes. So I said, "Are you guys the good guys or the bad guys?" And one of the fellows yells out, "We're the medics, and you're going to be okay." Gee, I'm really lucky to have all I have today.
Almost 13 years later, Jackie is still healing. She's had several brain surgeries and suffered epileptic seizures. But one of the most precious things the hijackers stole from Jackie was her peripheral vision. It's gone.
I am focusing on your pupil of your eye, your brown eye, and eyeball. Anything above that eye, to the left and to the bottom of that eye, is gone for me.
But it hurts most when Jackie looks into the face of her 18-month-old son. She sees only fragments, a single dark eye, a rounded cheek, a tuft of soft hair. She never sees him complete and whole.
No, I don't. I think my vision was okay with me until my son was born. And then it dawned on me, I can't see this baby, this whole baby. I had to put this baby's face together and his body together so I won't ever see his whole body or his whole face. And then my husband said, "But just look at the gift that we have."
You gotta wonder how she could even see that ball to catch it.
Not a day goes by, Jackie says, not one day, that she doesn't think of those long hours aboard Egypt Air Flight 648.
Before they came for me, I bowed my head and I began to pray.
But she willingly travels back to tell her story.
I believe that what first appears in our lives as a major setback is really a great opportunity to test our strength. This is for you, Linda.
On the dedication page of the book Jackie wrote 4 years ago, she remembers the passengers who died, among them 8 children. But she says the dedication always felt unfinished until she added these words: "My prayer is that you found the gift behind the tragedy." Jackie did.
Jackie likes to tell people that the Thanksgiving hijacking taught her this: don't sweat the small stuff and give thanks for what you do have. Only one of the 3 hijackers who called themselves the Egypt Revolution survived. He is now serving time in a federal prison, and Jackie says she's forgiven him. Paul and Diana.
Thank you very much.